Wadi Cobb, and what is up, peoples? You beautiful, beautiful peoples, awake and asleep from your heads to your feet. How are y'all doing out there? Okay, so it's Friday, and we just got back from one of my most anticipated movies of the year. So far, I've had three very anticipated movies, and so far was totally, well, the first one was Silent Hill, and that was just so bad. And this one, of course, is one of my favorite franchises, the newest installment, Evil Dead Burn. And the next one, of course, is going to be Avengers Doomsday because, God, please, Marvel, bring it home. Anyway, so Evil Dead Burn. I was super excited to see this movie because, of course, I love the Evil Dead franchise. It's ever since the first one I ever saw was Army of Darkness. I remember renting it when I was staying in my cousin's aunt's house in Arkansas. With some family VHS store, and what is this crazy movie with this guy with a chainsaw for a hand? And super funny slapstick. And then like a year or so later, I found out that there was two other movies of those. Evil Dead 2 became one of my favorite films of all time. Evil Dead 1 was one of the freakiest movies I had seen at the time. Just love the Evil Dead franchise. Ash vs. Evil Dead. The Evil Dead remake 2013. Evil Dead Rise a couple years ago. There is not a bad film in this franchise. Evil Dead is almost a perfect franchise. I say that to say that this is definitely the weakest entry into the Evil Dead movies. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I would not go as far as say it was bad. I just did not care about any of the characters. Well, one character I started to kind of care about, and then she died fairly quickly and became a deadite, and I was out of the film. This film is brutal. Now, that's why I'm not going to say I do not recommend it. Very brutal, very violent. There's some nasty, gross, I feel like somebody watched Terrifier. We're like, we're gonna make this more realistic and up some of these kills. But I mean, it's an Evil Dead movie. It seems like in these ever since the remake, they've been trying to get more brutal with them and more whatever. Which Evil Dead 2013. Which actually isn't really a remake. It's kind of just like a continuation. It just doesn't have Ash Williams in it, which that one, I felt like the story in that one was really strong. And I really did I really enjoyed Evil Dead Rise. I know some people didn't, but I liked the whole thing. The acting of the mother in that movie was freaking insane. I really enjoyed that one. This movie, it was hard for me to root for the final girl in this one. I didn't like her from the beginning. Like I didn't like most of the characters, which is okay when you're watching them just go through complete hell because you don't feel bad for them. And these characters go through some shit. I don't want to spoil shit, but oh my god, there's some stuff that'll make you wince, and just brutality, which I guess is the forte for Evil Dead films going forward. There's a little bit of like dark humor in here, and that's just something that I feel like is kind of missing since Ash Williams left. I wish they would find a new Ash Williams. It seems like the female final girls now, which it was always Ash before, but but not a female. But now it's like they're trying to find the new Ash, and they're. It just seems like they're going down in each one. Mia in Evil Dead remake or 2013 was pretty cool, and then I can't remember the name of the one in the last movie. She was all right, but this one, please don't put her in another movie. I did not like Frenchie or whatever this girl's name was. I didn't like her from the opening. Well, not the opening scene. The opening scene takes place about the same time as the opening scene of the last one. I think they're trying to connect this. Apparently there's a prequel on the way. There are two after credit scenes. One the very, very after credit scene is tying this into the last film, which kind of gets me a little bit excited because I did like the last film. And I'm not saying I didn't not like this film. It's just it's definitely the weakest link in the Evil Dead franchise, unfortunately. Still a good time if you're a horror fan, if you're an Evil Dead fan. But don't go in. I was wild in 2013. I was wild in Evil Dead Rise. I was not wild with this. It's just if like I said, if you're a fan of Evil Dead, you're a fan of brutal horror, you could do worse. Not the best horror film of the year, unfortunately. It's not. I was hoping, but Obsession still holds that. Anyway, Obsession holds best movie of the year still. Anyway, I love each and every one of y'all from the heart. I hope you have a fantastic day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Tee-hee!